All right, Cypher and the Cellar fans, Season 2, Episode 4. We're back with the real Freeway Ricky Ross.
I'm Buckets. Doc's ain't here. I don't know where he's at. At any rate, we got a piece of American history, actually. Freeway Rick Ross. Thank you for coming, taking time out your schedule.
Man, I'm glad to be here, man.
Most of our audience knows about you and your whole history. But, I mean, I read your book. Tell the people a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell the people a little bit about how you started off with $125 and became a millionaire in a couple years.
Well, I grew up in a neighborhood. I was really poor. My family was really poor. My mom was buying a house that she couldn't afford.
Okay.
She was tired of living in apartments and being evicted and going through the whole apartment thing. So her and her sister-in-law had decided that they were going to go in and buy a house together. When they started to buy the house, my auntie died.
Okay.
So it left everything on my mom. So mom started to do the deal, and she just didn't have the finances. I mean, we kept the house. She never lost the house, but it hurted us in other areas.
You put a burden, and you felt like you wanted to step in kind of and help out.
Yeah, like going to school with holes in your shoes and not getting pants. Like regular other kids, looked like they had more clothes than we did. Growing up like that, it kind of gave you a mindset of I want more. I want better. I just started looking for opportunities. Every turn that I made, it was a turn to look for an opportunity for me to help my family get out of the position that we was in, and
make $1 out of.
I mean, I went from car washes in front of the house, cans and bottles, cutting yards, stealing cars, and from stealing cars to selling dope.
Yeah. You did initially start with tennis. Was a big part of your childhood growing up.
Yeah. I thought tennis was gonna be my way out of the ghetto, out of poverty. But I never learned how to read or write, so.
But that's what stopped you from going to college.
Stopped me from going to college,
okay.
and it really cut my tennis career off.
Yeah. I mean,
it was at a sudden hold. So something I'd been banking on for about 6 years, all of a sudden was no longer there. So I needed another option.
So getting back to your early days and doing your whole, empire and making your money, and how that evolved into Blandone working for the DEA the whole time.
The CIA.
Or the CIA, yeah. So how do you feel when you see him get 2 years and they sentence you to your life?
I mean,
it's got to kill you inside.
When you look at the system as a whole, you start to understand that this system is created for a certain class of people. It's not created to. I mean, look at what just happened to Manafort. He was looking at 24 years.
Yeah.
The judge departed downward to 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
If that would have happened in one of our cases, the prosecutor would have appealed that case immediately.
Oh,
you know what I'm
definitely
saying?
Privilege.
And I haven't heard anything about an appeal, from the prosecutor side. But if my judge would have gave me 4 years, my prosecutor would have appealed immediately.
Right.
He would, no, Your Honor, you can't do that. We're going to appeal this case right now to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. You're out of line. You're not following the guidelines. I heard none of that. That was a drastic downward departure, which is the same thing that happened to Danilo Blandone. Danilo Blandone was looking at 3 life sentences. The judge departed from 3 life sentences to 28 months in prison. Come on, man. Where does that happen? Only in America.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, Rick, so I just want to get into rap culture for a second, just because we're on Cypher in the Cellar. Coming up, what were some of your influences in rap?
Oh man, one of my favorite songs, and still right now today, is Rapper's Delight, man. They was basically rapping my life, when they came out with that, because I was going through what they were talking about, when he was talking about going to school, not learning nothing in school, the teacher's a jerk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done had teachers that was jerks, and even now, more so that I look back on life, you know, I'm looking back at people who are in school to educate, but they don't even want to be in school themselves. You know, they don't want to be that teacher, and they need to check. You know, when I hear that song, man, that song is just so much like my life that, you know, I mean, it's a classic. I mean, everybody knows it's a classic. I don't have to tell nobody that, but it's one that I love even here today. When I hear that song come on, you know, it just takes me to another level.
So and it's crazy that you said, sorry about that. It's crazy that you said Rapper's Delight, because in Rapper's Delight, it's a lot of authentic rhymes.
Oh, no question. I mean, it was a different time. It was a different time. You know, when we was coming up in the early rap days, the rap had meaning. You know what I'm saying? It was talking about life, you know, what was going on at the time. And the difference today is everybody's become copycats. You know, there's no authenticity in the game right now. I mean, you know, people will know that you're a fraud and a fake, and they still put their arms around you and hug you and support you and get on your record and rap with you. And literally, you know, they tried to boycott me from the whole industry behind this guy who stole my name, you know, because
retarded.
Because I sued him. You know, when I first got out of prison, I was at Universal. All of them was courting me. But when I filed a lawsuit against this guy who was a fraud, the whole industry kind of like turn their back, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, we can't do our boss. You know, that guy's with our boss.
That fan base, that generation didn't understand who you were or the magnitude that you had.
I think it's more so the people who push the buttons.
And that too.
You
the
know,
record execs.
You know, they dictate who we listen to, who we like. You know, they pick who our heroes are and what we should be doing, what we should wear. You know, like I remember listening to the news one day and they were talking about Harvey Weinstein dictated what beauty was in Hollywood. And then I took it a step further. I said, well, if he dictated what beauty was in Hollywood, he dictate what beauty is in the world. Because the world follows what Hollywood is doing, you know. Most of our young people don't have the ability to say, I'm going to be who I want to be. You know, and that's one of the things that I had to learn is that I had to start dictating to myself who I am. Because I didn't tell me to be a drug dealer. See, people put that in my head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Scarface, Superfly, Tequila Sunrise.
I think you said when you went and saw Superfly in the theater.
Yeah.
And you walked out and you didn't care about Arthur Ashe no more.
No.
You saw that movie and it was.
But they put that in my head. I didn't know that before.
Yeah.
I never saw drugs. I never knew about cocaine.
And he had everything that you wanted.
I was happy.
And,
But they reversed my happiness and let me know that no, what you thought should be happy, that ain't what you should be happy about. You shouldn't be happy. You got holes in your shoe. Why you happy? You had no car. You had no girlfriend. It's crazy, the movie, man. When people see the movie, like the way this movie gonna start out, man, it's gonna be crazy. But everybody gonna be able to relate to it because it's real. One of the things that me and my man Kush, we've been working on the script with the script doctor, and you know, he basically said, man, that this young dude just wanted a car and a girl. That's it. And that started the whole cocaine epidemic because he wanted a car and a girl. And it kicked it off. Just from that, that kicked it off. And if we look at it, how many other things have got kicked off because of a car and a girl? Or a girl.
Break it down to material.
You know what I'm saying?
You know,
I mean, because you know, really, you know, a guy without a girl, he don't really feel like he a guy. Right. And if you ain't got no money, the girls don't want to have nothing to do with you, for real. You know what I'm saying? Unless you get one of the real girls and she be like, oh, I'm gonna help this motherfucker come up. You know, I'm gonna be the one helping come up. I'm gonna help him get it right. So, you know, it's crazy, man. But you know, we just living and learning, man.
Right. I got another question for you. With the evolution of hip hop, back in the day, rappers used to glorify selling drugs. Now rappers are glorifying using drugs.
Oh yeah, different
How
era.
you feel about that?
It's crazy. It's retarded. I mean, the whole drug game is a facade that nobody really needs to be playing because there's no winners. Everybody loses in the long run. I mean, you look at it, Pablo Escobar, he lost his life. El Chapo lost his life. He's never going to see daylight again. But, you know, in the drug game, nobody really wins. And for people to encourage other people to get high is retarded. Even when I sold drugs, I never encouraged nobody to use drugs. Especially once I found out the effects of it, you know, that it's going to make you a slave, that you're getting pimped now. You really literally become a hoe when you start using drugs. Because you're going to be buying other people cars, clothes, jewelry, houses. You know, you got to look at it like that. If you're not looking at it like that, you're going to go to work every single day, and the pimp is going to get a nice cut of your money every single paycheck. So, you know, when you start looking at it like that, it starts to give you a different perspective about, you know, and not just drugs, but I started to use that for everything that I do, you know, for clothes. We have to become conscious of everything that we do, because if you're not, you could be getting used in so many different areas. And a lot of times our people are not thinking ahead. They're living for today.
The moment.
And, you know, like right now I got a problem and I don't want to deal with that problem. I just want to get high and get around it. So I think that for rappers to glorify getting high, I mean, back in our days, you know, we would crucify you for getting high. Right. You know, we didn't think much of people who got high. And for now, it have totally changed to where now they're glorifying getting high. I think it's
yeah, they're now glorifying getting high, and even the rappers that are rapping about getting high, them themselves aren't even doing the drugs.
No, they're not. Most of them are. Some of them fell into that trap. You know, we got them falling out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Falling out on airplanes and having seizures. Okay. And that's behind. I mean, lean is liquid heroin. You know, you might as well be shooting a needle in your arm if you're drinking lean. You know, I got friends that drink lean, and I tell them, like, man, what's wrong with you? You know, you following these rappers, you know, like, it ain't cool.
What's your climate on the legalization of marijuana?
I'm totally with it. I'm totally with marijuana.
You've invested in it, right?
Yeah. I'm man, I've been fighting City Hall in LA for the past
they won't let you invest in it, or
I want a license, and
okay.
What happened in LA? I'm on the board of a company called Indica. Bo Money is the founder, and what she did is she had the city to implement what they call a social equity program. And what social equity is it's allowing people in disadvantaged communities to participate in the legalization of marijuana. Well, why now that it's legal, why shouldn't you be a part of it?
Like, can I get my shit expunged? Like, I'm still waiting.
We're in LA, they're expunging, and we have an expungement clinics where we expunge people who have convictions. But also, we wanted them to be able to participate in the business aspect, to get a license. You know, 98% of the business is controlled by white males in the marijuana industry. Yeah. So we knew that white males wasn't the only people who were involved in marijuana, you know, when it was illegal. So why should they have such a large share of the legalization? And the problem is that they made the licensing fees so high that nobody in the hood could afford it. You know,
you had to have like $1 million just in assets to apply.
Exactly. So how could people who only making $15,000 a year, who stand in South Central, how could they ever have a chance to participate? So what Bo did, and I'm glad she did, is she came up with social equity. So with social equity, they're going to give out 200 licenses. LA is going to wind up probably with about 1,000 licenses once they all finish. Right now, we have 98 licensed people in LA right now. We're licensed. One black guy has a license.
Sounds like the Senate. For real, that sounds like the Senate.
So what they're going to do now is they're going to give out 200 licenses to people who stayed in disadvantaged neighborhoods. If you had a marijuana conviction, you go to the front of the line. You have to stay in certain zip codes. They're going to waive the fees. You know, like it costs you like $10,000 one time and $20,000 another time. All those fees are going to be waived. The city's going to absorb those fees for the social equity candidates, and they're going to allow you to partner with somebody that would help you get the building, somebody with business experience, and they would come in and help you run it. I think it's a program that's been needed not only for cannabis but for several other industries where blacks have literally been excluded from. And we implemented that in LA, and I've been pushing to make sure that the city sticks to what they said they were going to do, because what happened is once they did the social equity plan, you wouldn't believe this, but it's crazy. This shit is crazy. They got people running around selling blacks that qualify for the license. Like, give me $2,500. I got you somebody that'll qualify. You get him. You get him $5,000 a month, and the building is yours. The business is your business. So we had to fight against that. I mean, it's so crazy, and they got these companies coming from Canada. Canada is totally legal, so now the banks in Canada will loan you money. So what's happening is big corporations from America is dropping money in Canada. Like Coca-Cola put $100 million in a company in Canada.
Altria just put a $1.6 billion in Kronos.
And then what they do is they take that money and come back over here and buy all the cannabis products. So our country in the cannabis business will probably, if we don't do something, will probably be owned by Canada.
Yeah, I feel like they're almost waiting to legalize everything until Big Tobacco gets their hands in it.
And it'll be too late then.
Yeah. I want to bring up your new book, 21 Keys to Success. Actually, we have Coley Crutcher here.
Yeah.
Award-winning writer. Electrical engineer, right?
Yeah, electrical engineer.
Why don't you come up here for a little bit, talk about the book.
Thank you for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Coley Crutcher.
What up, Pete? All right, man. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, 21 Keys to Success.
Yeah, 21. Well, the book came about, we really, didn't plan on, writing the book at first. I was out in LA. I spent time with Rick after he got out of prison, and I had finished another book. So I was riding with Rick, and we were promoting our books, products, t-shirts, and things like that. And I would just see how he would move, right? I would see how he would go into these Hollywood meetings and deal with these executives. And at first I would take mental notes of things he said, but he was always saying something that it was natural to him, but it always stuck in my head because it made other people either question it, think about it, or it made them uncomfortable, right? And so you get a series of these things going on over a few weeks and a few months, and you're like, wow, he's really different. And so what ended up happening, long story short, is that this is a book of principles. Like he said already, there's no winners in the drug game. Pablo Escobar is dead. El Chapo is never going to see light again. But if you're not going to sell drugs and you're not going to do anything illegal, so many people in our neighborhood think, well, what is it that I am actually going to do to make money? I'm stuck. And what we're saying is that with these 21 keys of success, these principles, they're universal. It's almost like the laws of science. If I take a ball and I throw it up, the law of gravity is going to bring it down. So you don't have to use the laws, you don't have to use the principles to sell drugs, right? And what we're saying is Rick is one of the, if not the most successful drug dealer, because he has the opportunity to go from that life to being in legal business while he's still relatively young, in great health, and those other people didn't. He's one of the only drug dealers that had an opportunity to change it for the better. And that's what we want to get across in this book. These principles are universal, and we just want to give people the opportunity, because not everybody has the opportunity to meet him. So we want to put it in a format where everybody can look at the principles of success, not use them for illegal things, but use them for legal, and be successful in their own way.
Okay. And I mean, is there any like? Can you give us an example of some of the keys? What do you value the most?
I think P16, which is disdain instant gratification.
Okay.
Because the love of instant gratification is what gets most people into doing illegal things to start with.
Okay.
So if you can apply all the keys, but if in your mind you still want instant gratification, you're gonna veer into doing something illegal anyway. So it's not gonna have the same benefit.
Or sell your business out.
Exactly.
You know, when you're looking for instant gratification, it would come to say for instance, if you had your own business and it wasn't illegal, and it's time to pay your light bill, but the new Nikes is coming out tomorrow, and you have to wait. Should I buy the Nikes or should I keep my lights on? My computer's working, which I need the internet. Do I go buy the Nikes? And then instant gratification would happen to go buy the Nikes.
Exactly. And a lot of these principles are things that, he said earlier, being a critical thinker. When he was a young person, he was interested in Scarface. He was interested in Superfly, but he started out interested in tennis. Well, what changed? At that point in his life, he didn't have the full capacity to think critically that developed later on in life. So we're always presented with these options, these certain things that look like opportunities, but if you're not a critical thinker, that opportunity can actually end up being a trap.
Yeah, if you don't think it through. Like some people can only think for a month, a week. Some can think for a year, and that's one of the reasons I wrote this book, because I know that young people, when they get involved with drugs, they don't know the outcome. They don't know what it's going to be like inside the courtroom. So in my book, I took them inside the courtroom. They got to talk to they're going to get to talk to my lawyer and just so many different things that they're going to get to experience that otherwise you can't experience it until it hits you. Okay. And then you have to experience it, and then it's too late.
Now, Rick, you also have your own artist, Not Cool.
Yeah. The way I came in contact with Not Cool is through Hayes, my manager, and I didn't want to do music no more. I messed with some artists when I got home, and artists are so disloyal, and unhumble. They get on the radio one time. It's like, oh, no, I heard myself on the radio. I mean, Cody was with me when we remember C. Carter.
Exactly, yeah.
We was working with C. Carter. I mean, I was taking this girl, I'm driving her around at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm selling tickets so she can perform, and I'm doing all of this work. I bought her tennis shoes before I bought I got 2 babies. I bought her tennis shoes before I bought my kids tennis shoes, because I was looking for the long-term gratification. But she got a call one day from Juicy J, and
it was a wrap.
I was done. Like, you took me for as you could take me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, we just got you on the radio last week. You know what I'm saying? We just got you up to 10,000 followers on social media. We can go further. You know what I'm saying? Let's try. Okay, you're going to go with Juicy J. Take me with you. Let's go to Juicy J together. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes when they get in that position, they just get so into themselves that it messes up the whole mix, man. And I was under that mindset, and then we was in Chicago one day, and Hayes had been telling me, man, listen to this artist. I don't want to hear no rap. Turn the news on.
No rap.
I don't want to hear no rap. So then he finally got it in the car, and I listened to it. I was like, man, that kid is good. What is he like? And then he set up a date with me and him. We rode around LA for a couple hours together, and I started to like this kid. I was like, man, this kid, he got something, and he definitely has the magic. Now it's gonna come down to his ability to sacrifice and dedicate himself to his trade. I tell him I work 18, 19-hour days. I done lost a lot from me pursuing my careers, and that's all he's gonna need, to pay his dues, because he has all the talent. I don't think there's nobody out there that's any more talented than he is.
Yes, he's very talented. I know Not Cool from he used to hit me up. I'm a local promoter also.
Oh, okay.
So he used to showcase his talents on shows to open up for certain acts. And now I look up and he's with you. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he's obviously grinding. He's obviously working. All right, Rick. Like I said, we got your boy Not Cool here.
Yeah.
So you want Not Cool? You want to come up? Big dog. All right, Not Cool. What's up, man? What you got going on? Let us know what you got going on. I knew like I was telling them, I've known you for years now, a couple years now, rocking out on P&B rock shows. You're always killing the crowds.
717.
717. Yeah, you always representing 717. That's Central PA.
From Lancaster to York to Harrisburg.
Right.
Nah,
But what you got going on, man?
Oh, well, we just got back over here. We had a show last night. That show was lit. It was in Harrisburg. I was happy to see the amount of people that came out, so it was a good turnout. I just been working with this dude named Brian Kennedy. He produced Chris Brown Forever. He produced Rihanna Disturbia, Usher Loving This Club. I just got like basically a whole album done with him, a whole album worth of music done with him. So all those is about to be bangers. We were just recording in the top studios in LA. The last time we was in LA, I recorded in the same room Ariana Grande just did her last album in, so that was crazy.
Right.
So yeah, we just been working.
And then you was on Sway in the morning.
Yeah, we
right?
was in Sway in the morning. OG Freeway, Ricky brought me out.
Right.
So that was crazy. You know, that's off the checklist.
Yeah.
Everybody want to get on Sway.
Miami, you was in Miami all on the radio too.
Yeah, I drove my first Lamborghini out there.
Okay.
That was lit.
That was big.
He doing so much, man. He can't remember all that stuff. You know, he young.
So when we gonna get some visuals from you soon?
Oh yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming. Right now we just got the music done, but while I'm out here, I'm getting music videos done and all that. So you can expect some dope stuff coming real soon.
Okay.
And I just talked to Rockstar about him. I think I talked to Rockstar Saturday. So,
okay.
We're gonna be meeting up with Rockstar in a couple days.
Okay, get some of that Rockstar
You was in the
action.
studio with Lady Jizzle too.
Yeah, and that's Diddy's right hand people. So
okay.
Yeah, she was checking me out. She loving the music. We about to link as soon as I get back to LA.
Zaytoven in Atlanta. We killed Atlanta. We did like 10 clubs in Atlanta.
Okay.
We just walk up, take the microphone, hand it to Naku. He take over the club. We was doing takeovers. Super Bowl weekend, we did like 10 takeovers.
Oh, you just down Super Bowl weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
We went down there. We did like 10 clubs, like 7 radio stations.
How can they get a hold of you if they want a feature?
Feature, you gotta hit the manager, man. We on the bigger, better things, man. You should be able to hit me. Can't do that no more. It's grind time.
You gotta hit Hazy, right? Shout out to Hayes, man. It was good seeing you guys. We appreciate you guys coming on, Rick.
No doubt. Give a shout out to my man TJ, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to my man TJ Vision Program. You know, he took me to some juvenile halls when I was down here last time, man. Okay. And you know, I really been trying to get into these jails because I want to teach other people in jail how I did my time. You know, how I was able to get out and do the things that I'm doing now. And TJ, he helped me do that. So I appreciate him, man. And y'all check out that book, man. That book, y'all slipping on that book. Keep slipping. Keep slipping on them books.
It's your boy Coley Crusher. All social media is just my name, KOLIECRUTCHER. Make sure you get the book as well as the autobiography. Principles that you can get successful by, baby.
You can follow me on social media, Freeway Ricky, on all of them, and you can also text me at Freeway 310-340-1930. Peace.
All right, Cypher and the Cellar fans, Season 2, Episode 4. See you next time.
Chill.